coming live here. It's a little later than I was hoping to get this update up tonight, but you know what, as they say, better late than never. Here we are, updating the developing winter storm slash nor'easter. Nor'easter expected for the middle of the week for our friends across portions of the Appalachians and into the mid-Atlantic. Southern portions of New England can also expect to get an impact from this developing storm. Thank you for being here. I just shared this over with my friends on Twitter, and I want to get the information out over to Facebook as well. This is a YouTube stream, and I appreciate everybody stopping on by. We won't make this long. I'm going to try to get into the habit of keeping these on the shorter end. Not quite what we do with our typical Facebook evening program, which covers everything from news and politics to weather. Oh my. This one focused on the weather due to popular demand. So we'll get your formal update here in a moment. Let me bring up radar while we allow friends to come in the door. Going to take a couple of minutes and then we'll dive right on in. This is a fairly well advertised storm system. It is going to be a potent nor'easter. Already, though, in advance of it, we're seeing watches and make that winter storm warnings already posted across portions of the plains right now. The watches, that's for the winter storm watch for portions of the Appalachian, mid-Atlantic, southern portions of New England. So give me about 20 seconds and we'll get started here properly. All right, that's out. I think we're good to go now. Let's see who we have with us. Just a few in the room so far. Thank you very much for being here. And let's dive right on into the data. Obviously, you're taking a look at radar as we speak. And storm system of interest making its way across the central U.S. right now. Area of upper low pressure across the Rockies at the surface. We do have returns developing. We've got some light snow developing across portions of the high plains of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Colorado, and Nebraska. In the purple area here, that is a winter weather advisory for light amounts of snow. But it's going to get heavier for parts of Oklahoma. And that's where we do have active winter storm warnings in excess of 4 to 6 inches of snow expected from Woodward to just to the northwest of Oklahoma City and Elk City. So this is where the storm begins. It begins tonight. It goes into tomorrow for the plains, and then it crosses over the Mississippi River Valley. And then we're looking at it firing up as it hits the Appalachians and Mid-Atlantic. This area in blue, there's a winter storm watch, which I have full confidence will be upgraded tomorrow to a winter storm warning, at least for parts of this area. From near Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, to New York, State College, PA. You make your way into central Appalachia from Roanoke to near Charleston, West Virginia. Everybody involved. Right now, we are seeing snow squalls coming off of parts of the Great Lakes right now, particularly Lake Ontario, very active as we speak. Again, winter storm watch posted by the National Weather Service. The National Weather Service earlier today. Here's a look at the storm. This will take you over to the satellite imagery. And this is the way it looks. The IR sat, that is enhanced infrared satellite imagery, showing you where those brighter areas of green, that's where you have your colder cloud tops, the actual low pressure area swirling right across the nation's, right near the Four Corners region. That's where the actual low is located. There's a look at it. And you can clearly see where we've got that low pressure that's churning right there. And it's going to lift out into the plains, and then it's going to be strengthened by jet stream winds, the presence of very warm waters off of the Atlantic seaboard, also streaming up out of the Gulf of Mexico, will allow the storm to strengthen rather rapidly. Here's a look at jet stream winds, where we do have a what I would consider a consolidated jet stream across the eastern U.S. that's going to provide lots of cold air that's in place, but also the upper low, which has been a little bit cut off over the southwest, that's going to join in the gang. It's going to get absorbed in the main flow, and as this occurs, we'll get phasing with those jet stream winds from the southern branch, which is now rotating around the periphery of that upper low. It'll get absorbed into the main jet as it lifts towards the east and northeast here over the next couple of days. The result will be quite a period of inclement weather. All right, with that being said, let's see if we've got a few friends that have joined us. Small crowd, thank you for being here. If you don't mind, a quick like or share of the video. As always, it is appreciated. Let's go ahead and walk you through what we're expecting next couple of days. These graphics, courtesy of our friends over at the National, the WPC, that's Weather Prediction Center. That's a branch of NOAA. You can see where that low is expected to quickly move over the next couple of days. And let me rewind this a little bit. Looks like it, there you go. It's going to, okay, so after this slide, it'll go back to the beginning. And this will start tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning, we've got low pressure developing over West Texas. It will begin to slide across the state. Again, it's not really going to be all that strong through the day tomorrow. Therefore, it's not going to bring a lot, but it begins to strengthen as it approaches the Ohio River Valley. Does that put southern Indiana, parts of eastern Kentucky, southern Ohio in play for a few inches of snow? I think so. And then it quickly accelerates and it intensifies again as it moves through parts of the mid-Atlantic. So this is the National Weather Service. It's their official forecast. We'll move you on over, taking a look at the European model, and then I'll jump on over and we'll take a look at the latest coming in from the NAM, the GFS, and we should get an early look or an advanced look at the Canadian model, and we'll go over some totals with this storm. Again, you're watching WxLive now. I'm meteorologist Jeremy Capel. Thank you very much for being here. And I'm going to pull up again the new model data. You're looking at the European right now, kind of a broader view. We'll take a closer up look at that in a couple of moments. Again, focusing on the northeastern United States and particularly New England, where this thing's really going to likely spin up. So this is the Euro you're looking at. Now, I like to compare and contrast the models as they come in. So let's do this in real time. And here you go. European model you're looking at right here. So you can see where it does have the snow in the parts of the lower Ohio River Valley, mixing mainly rain for the state of Kentucky, the exception being far eastern, northeastern sections of the state. Maybe a couple of inches of snow across southern Indiana. Then it really ramps up as that low travels to the coast, accelerates, and deepens to about 995, 997, something like that. And you can see it's really there's going to be a tight cutoff for the haves and the have-nots. I want to take a closer up look at, for instance, Washington, D.C., where they're going to be in an area where it could really go either way. So let's focus on it here. Over the state of Pennsylvania. And you can see basically this would bring all modes of precipitation to D.C. It would probably start as light snow. Same for Philadelphia. And then maybe a period of heavy snow mixing with sleet. You can see that pink area there. That's actually where you have freezing rain. This is Wednesday night. And then very heavy snowfall Wednesday night into southern and central PA. And then some of that would make its way into DC, or New York City, I should say. So how does this compare? So this was the earlier run, the 12Z run of the European model. I want to compare that right now with the new GFS that's coming in as we speak. And at a glance, it looks like it compares pretty favorably. It would suggest that the GFS is coming in a little bit warmer on the south side. That would be more rain for DC. Philadelphia, you're going to get it regardless of which model you look at. Philadelphia is going to see a lot of snow, I think especially in the western suburbs. So western Philadelphia, you're going to see it. North of Baltimore, it's going to be messy there. Again, this is the new run of the GFS, that's the Global Forecast Station. And then it moves it throughout the rest of New England. So let's take a look at this now. One more model we'll look at with you. The 3K NAM. Oh, that looks like a mess. Let's back up the 3K NAM. This is a 0Z run, brand new run. And that brings in a huge mess of mixed precipitation. And the NAM really is, it's throwing out some red flags and as far as that potential freezing rain and ice is concerned. It's also putting in some very heavy snow a little bit further west, but into east central, south central PA. And then you can see the worst of it would be north of New York City. So if the NAM is correct, warm air gets far enough north to push the brunt of the heavy snowfall further north. All right, and let's see, I'm going to broaden our view here, and then we'll take a look at snowfall amounts. So let's go on into the Northeast, kind of a general overview, and I'm going to bring in the Canadian. The Canadian in, it is in. And the Canadian, again for DC, it says it's going to be mixture. A little bit of snow and sleet, maybe a brief period of freezing rain, then rain. It says that for DC. I would say ditto for Baltimore. And then it does bring in that mix longer for Philadelphia. It brings in a period of heavy snow for New York before going over to maybe a mixture and then ending. So that's the Canadian. Which one do I like the best? Probably the Euro. Typically at this range, it's a couple days out. The Euro's probably got it dialed in pretty well. And the Euro would be the heaviest snowmaker for New York City. For Philadelphia. So that corridor, and even into southern New England, so Hartford, Providence, south of Boston, could be a pretty good snow. All right, with that being said, let's see who we have on the program. Got about 11 live right now. Thank you very much for being here. I've got Paul, Beverly, and Rich Martinez. Rich says, I'm ready this year. Got the snowblower tuned up and ready to go. Well, good for you, Rich. I think you're going to be using it real quick. Let's talk about some of those totals. Again, this won't be a long-winded episode because tomorrow's really the day when we get to really fine-tune this. The watches are out. The Weather Service has done their job. There's going to be a lot of snow. Weather Service had identified an area of about 1 to 2 feet, and that's what most of the models are shooting for as well. So let's start you with let's go ahead and let's start you out with snowfall accumulations according to the latest run of the Euro. This is actually the 18Z Euro, and I want to focus really in on DC. I mean, this would be hammer time for. Again, DC will miss on this. The majority of it wouldn't be much, but you go a short distance north of DC and Baltimore, you get towards the PA line. That snow is going to add up fast. So let's jump on over to Pennsylvania, and you can see, where we've got some of those brighter colors. Good grief, that would be 2 feet plus. I mean. And this has actually been pretty consistent, so I'm not going to be surprised if we get some areas in central PA 2 feet. Look at that northern Jersey. Get that one location of about 26 inches. You guys see that? Let's move on into New York. There you go. There's New York State. And there you go. You got New York City, man, getting hammered. This would be on Long Island. It would be a good 12 to 18 inches on Long Island. Right there. But you move just into the city, or just north of the city, man, and you can get 20, 25 inches real fast. So big boy snowstorm on the way. Let's take a look at the differences here. So here's the Euro. Here's a look at the GFS. GFS is actually a little further south, not quite as intense. Now let's come on over to the NAM. And the NAM's like, well, the NAM's doing what the NAM does. Sometimes it just goes off its rocker. Not as much snow for New York City, but it goes berserk across Pennsylvania. I mean berserk. That's not going to happen. Nobody's going to see 40 inches of snow out of this deal, okay? Okay, that looks like it. That's an overreach. Almost guaranteed overreach. So, let's go. If you go back to the model I like the best, it is the Euro. Wait, here's just a real quick look at the Canadian. It's also got some crazy numbers. Oh, let me point this out. Oftentimes, it's the 3K NAM that'd be the craziest. Now, here you go. The Canadian's got an outlier. It says 50 inches. That's not going to happen. Nobody's going to see 50 inches, okay? Anyway, this is a much better bet. And that's, again, European models forecast. It looks much more reasonable. Still big snow totals. You go into Pennsylvania particularly. Look at that. Let's take a look at the rest of the region. And again, keep in mind there is ice potential. So this is showing on the backside maybe a little bit of snow across central Indiana. This is the high-res NAM. A little more snow for parts of Indiana and Kentucky. If you're joining us from the Louisville area, you're probably not going to see much. You could see an inch or two, southern Indiana, maybe far eastern, northeastern Kentucky. But that's about it. As mentioned, there will be the potential there for some ice as well. So let's see if I can't get that. There we go. This is according to the NAM. I think this is overdone. But I think it's got the area identified okay, though. So this area across Appalachians, central western Virginia, western North Carolina, and the parts of West Virginia, that's where you could be looking at a pretty good mixed bag. If the NAM is going locally a half inch, I'd say cut it in half. Maybe you've got some areas of a quarter to a third of an inch. And that does kind of verify with what we're seeing here on the Euro. So this is the Euro's forecast for that same region. All right, with that, see if we have any burning questions. Doesn't look so. Appreciate you guys being on here, though. Working on becoming more regular with these updates, certainly as we head on into the winter season. If you don't mind, a share of the program, maybe a like, and be sure to hit the notification bell so you guys know next time I'm on. There you go. Dodge. On here, I think 40 or 50 inches of snow could happen because it's the year 2020. Right? That's a good point. Let's hope not. That would shut a lot of people down for quite a while. But with that being said, can't really rule out some heavier totals. Maybe 2.5 feet. Maybe 30 inches. That'd be a possibility this time around. All right. So there you have it, my friends. Appreciate you guys being on. Again, this is weather update that's going to become more regular. Let me know what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Leave a comment. I'll come back, review, check them out, take your suggestions, maybe incorporate for the next show. I'll have an update tomorrow, at least one. And of course, we have our big show. That's Weather Live at 8:45 coming up here tomorrow night. That's where we cover everything, not just weather, but politics and news. We had quite a feisty show this evening, by the way. Everything's blowing up. Everything's blowing up around us in the political world, news. Yeah, crazy, crazy. You guys take care of yourselves, okay? Keep yourselves healthy, stay safe, and look out for your family and your friends. As mentioned, we'll be back here tomorrow night. You guys enjoy. Have a great, this is Monday, isn't it? A great Monday night. Now, Tuesday morning. We'll talk to you guys maybe tomorrow. Stay safe. Talk soon.